Happy Saturday afternoon, Fantasyland. My boy Dan and I are drafting a $100,000 grand prize underdog, the Superflex Big Board. Guys, let's get to it.
Go District. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, ball. And I bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. It's the Go District, y'all. I ball, cause I bleed. Hey, bleeding, I ball. Defeated the odds, didn't see him at all. JD in the pods, I needed it all. I bleeded a lie, you bleeded a lie, now I bleeded a lie. And that's what I go do. Facts, let me show you. Happen to know dudes. Drafting, they don't do bad and they don't lose. Make you wanna bleed. It's the Go District, boys giving you the business and no gimmicks. The best ball drafts got me feeling like it's Christmas. Then it's Christmas all of a sudden, and these riches came from nothing. And I got this all from loving the district. See, I just drafted, forget it. I laughed at the critics, they mad at the digits. I clap back by listening. See, Ballin ain't a problem if you kick it with them off. And I refresh the feed till autumn, then I bleed, go.
What is up, Fantasyland? A beautiful Saturday afternoon. Dan, which spot did we get? We're in the big board, underdog. What's the buy-in? What's the money? Let's win some cash.
Yes, we are in the 109 spot, so we know we're not getting an elite quarterback.
Every draft I've been at the back end these days.
That's all right.
It's all good. I like it. I like being near the ends. So $10 buy-in?
Yes, $10 buy-in, and I'm putting the draft board up here.
Beautiful.
There we go.
So we're in the 9 spot. Have we? I don't even remember how we started the other ones. We did another one of these. You guys want to?
Yeah, it was not a Superflex.
Oh, it wasn't the Superflex yet. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
There we go.
So
a little variety.
Completely different contest.
How do you feel about these from the 9 spot?
All right, so.
Where's your cutoff for the quarterback is my question, I guess.
You can really, if you want to, you can take Herbert, Jackson, or Lawrence, if any of them is there, and feel all right with that. Or you can come back around and pick up like a Dak Prescott or something like that in round 2, and pick up an elite wide receiver or running back in round 1, or even tight end. You know, and I tend from the back end not to try to chase quarterback too hard. And it looks like the quarterbacks are really flying here.
And that's why I was asking you where your cutoff is. So we're on the clock now. You've got Trevor Lawrence there, Deshaun Watson, or we can go with JJ, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, JJ's probably our 101.
Yeah, I would say JJ or Kelsey, just because of the positional advantage that would give you.
Let's go with JJ, Dan. We got to build a JJ team. Come on, he's our boy.
All right, JJ it is.
I love it.
And then as we were talking to Sam Sherman the other night, going heavy running back definitely makes some sense. So, you know, we're going to want to get a quarterback here. We want to get at least one good quarterback on this team. And it looks like, so we just saw 7 quarterbacks in a row go, and then we saw
number 8 just went.
Yeah, so we had 3 wide receivers in a row, and then 2 more quarterbacks have just gone. So the quarterbacks are really flying. Dak Prescott just went, so somebody
I'm hoping one of those top 2 land. Oh, I'm hoping this one guy lands to us now. No? Well, we got to take CMC here. There. No?
I'm fine with that. I mean, you know, I think we definitely jumped down a tier at quarterback, but I'm okay with that. I mean, being able to start CMC plus Justin Jefferson, that's a huge advantage.
I'm smashing CMC here.
All right, CMC it is.
Nice. Okay, so now we can focus on we've got our like stud receiver. Like this is how I'm seeing it right now. We've got our stud receiver, and obviously this changes as the picks go. But we've got our stud receiver. We're talking about taking advantage of the stud running backs early. We've got our first one. Now we're definitely gonna, you know, hope we get a nice value at quarterback coming back to us here. But we can kind of play between quarterback and running back, in my opinion, coming back this way.
Yeah. So good question from Jose here. Can you still do well in this tournament if the top 6 quarterbacks are gone? I mean, if you're in the back half of the draft, you have to find a way to do well.
And that's where not chasing quarterback, right, Dan, is
right.
Key.
Yeah, you just don't want to be chasing, because if you're sitting there chasing quarterback, then you put yourself at an extreme disadvantage at other positions. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to zag where the first 6 teams have zigged, or the first 7 teams have zigged, and we're going to get a positional advantage at hopefully quarterback, or at hopefully wide receiver and running back.
Yeah.
And then get enough quarterbacks that we can make it work. So we'll definitely want 3 quarterbacks here, but we'll be looking more at the like Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff, Geno Smith, Russell Wilson, as being a quarterback 1 for us, because there's no way that like Kirk Cousins is going to make it back to us.
Appreciate the question, Jose. Thanks for hanging with us on this Saturday afternoon. Dan and I just recorded a Owners Lounge where we talk about our high stakes dynasty teams that we managed together. So make sure you guys check that out. We'll be dropping that in the next 24 hours. So Dan, we're ending the second round right now. I'm used to seeing how many of each position went off the board on the FFPC, but we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 quarterbacks off the board, 2, 4, 6, 7 receivers, 3 running backs, and 1 tight end after 2. Now maybe it goes off the board. See what this guy does on the end. He started Josh Allen.
Yep.
Is he still your 101, Dan Allen?
I actually probably go Mahomes over Allen, and I probably go, and Hurts and Allen, to me, I'm just trying to get an equal amount of both.
I agree with that. I think you can't go wrong with any of the 3.
Yep.
If anything, I'm feeling like Buffalo might be a buy soon. Like people are just for some reason, kind of down on, they didn't punch through this year in the playoffs or whatever it is.
Right, exactly. So, and Jack Napier says, found myself going Dak CD a lot at the 111 or 112. That's a great way to go because you get that stack right away.
Yep.
Which is nice to have. So, we could have, I guess, if we'd have wanted to go Dak at the 109, but that would have been quite a reach. So it just didn't work out for us to do anything that way. And and if you haven't checked out that podcast that we did with Sam Sherman,
yes,
it is highly worth your time. If you're interested at all in winning underdog tournaments, Sam Sherman's stuff is a must. We really got deep into it with him, kind of talking about what his strategies are and why he's kind of going at the tournament a little bit of a different way than most people are, and I think it has a lot of merit.
He's ADP chasing, for those who don't maybe recognize from the name, but ADP chasing, he's been putting out some awesome content over there with the ship chasing guys. So,
right. So I'm throwing some guys into the queue, and should I be setting this up where you can see the queue, or can you see it from your screen?
No, I can. I can't see the queue though for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing in my queue.
Yeah, it just got emptied out again.
Oh, okay, that's probably why.
All right, so who do you want to go with here? I mean, we can probably go ahead and grab a quarterback, or we can take one of these receivers, or we could go like Chubb, Breece Hall. I think it's a little bit early for those. I'd like to maybe grab Derrick Henry back on the way back around.
So
what about a quarterback here?
Yeah, I think we go quarterback. You just named some guys that I like coming back if they're there. There's a handful of running backs that are sitting there that are nice. So right. Which quarterback do you prefer, Smith, Russell, or Derrick?
I would go Geno, I think.
Put him in.
I think it's going to be Geno. We can set up stacks either way.
Yeah. So would you have preferred passing McCaffrey and then getting Chubb here with like a Daniel Jones or Aaron Rodgers? I don't know that I would like that better.
No, I think getting McCaffrey where we did is great.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
making sure.
And I think if we can get okay, Chubb just went.
Yeah, I'm trying not to say too much about what's coming, just because when we do
Right.
these live best balls, you never know who's watching. But I think we're on the same page coming back. But yeah. So
Yep.
Nick Chubb, Breece Hall go off the board, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle. So a lot of receivers. Russell Wilson just goes off the board. So we can go, and then Chris Olave. So we can go Derrick Henry, we can go Pollard, Jacobs is there, Etienne.
I think Henry. I mean, if Henry is on his game, and especially in a half PPR, I mean that's a smash play. If he stays healthy for the season,
throw him in, do it.
All right.
All right, strong like bull, Dan. Strong like bull start.
Right, and this is the way that you want to do it. I mean, you want to, we had to get somebody at quarterback, I think, on this turn, the 3-4 turn. Otherwise, we risk really getting left behind.
Yeah.
But having Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey, and Derrick Henry, that puts us in a really, really strong place with our wide receivers and running backs.
Yeah, Geno Smith early in the season, first half was money. I mean, he finished QB 8 points per game. But if you look early, he gave you like a QB 7, QB 2, QB 4, QB 5, QB 3. Like he's giving you top 5 QB production in those weeks. This is best ball, Dan. So to get him with the starting 3 that we've added, because you look at that Lamar Jackson team, probably the only one competing with us right now at running back, but they don't have a receiver yet. And we've got the best one in the league.
Right.
So if it's always if when you build these teams, but the story that we're telling, Geno gives you even what he did last year. This team is money so far.
Yep, absolutely. Christopher Davis asking, do you all have any thoughts on Sean Tucker? The guy looks like he's a whole package. Nobody's talking about him in any circles right now. And Frank, 1912 Fantasy is exactly right. There's medical issues with him. And so, it's tough to take him until we see where he lands in the draft.
4.49, 40.
Yeah, he's a solid player, no doubt. I mean, you look at his college resume and it's great. But, if the NFL is shying away from him because they're concerned about injuries that he has, then I'm going to be shying away too.
Which is interesting because for some reason my notes seems durable. 28 bench press, 95th percentile target share, got better and better. Had 36 receptions his last season. So he has that nice receiving evolution, I like to call, getting just more and more targets every year. So, I mean, if he is healthy and that's not an issue, he's 207, 5'9", nice size. I've got him kind of like behind Tank and Kendre right now.
Mm-hmm.
So TJ Hawk, only the second. Yeah, he's only the second tight end off the board in the 5th round here. So, of course, it's not tight end premium, but then, of course, Mark Andrews goes off next. So I feel like we're either going orange or purple here.
Yeah, I think so.
Just because
the running backs have been kind of picked over pretty well at this point.
Yeah. So the rookie quarterbacks are on there, and I mean they can be interesting in a tournament like this. Or we solidify, a decent 2 behind JJ, which is there's some nice options on the board as well.
Yeah, I think we might see 2 quarterbacks go in these next 2 picks before ours. We'll see.
I think you're right. Oh, no, there you go. One
okay.
good.
So these guys are pushing hard on getting advantages at other positions.
One of them did go.
Okay, so we have Jordan Love, Bryce Young, and C.J. Stroud. I think probably one of those is our best option.
Yep.
Do you agree?
Yes. I've been trying to figure out which one.
I kind of like Jordan Love. I think.
I was going to say either Stroud or Love, just because I feel like if you're picking between the rookies for this year, I prefer Stroud.
Yeah. So Jordan Love is it's going to be his job all year.
I like it.
So So,
Love is a guy in these drafts. If you did kind of like what we did, he's a perfect QB2 because he gives you the upside, you know, of a rookie in the sense because we haven't necessarily seen him out there starting for a whole season, but you know, he's sat behind Rodgers. He's been in Green Bay. He's been hopefully like a sponge, just absorbing. We don't know what this guy could be a top 5 quarterback then.
yeah, absolutely. All right. And then I think I'm going to put somebody in the queue here that I think is very interesting.
I can't see. I don't think. Hold on.
Oh, he just went.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
all right. I was hoping Aaron Jones would make it back around.
That's exactly who I was looking at.
Yeah, I don't necessarily love pairing quarterbacks and running backs together, but
I do in Superflex. I don't know why. It's worked for me last year, Dan.
And when you've got so we're up. So we've got. I don't have anybody in the queue.
I don't hate that first guy. Like for me, that first guy is probably next, unless we want to go a different direction position wise.
I think maybe. What about Kittle?
That's the other position I was thinking. So that my 2 would be either Kittle or the guy in the first spot there.
Let's do Kittle here.
Let's do Kittle to strengthen another position. So now we've got like a potential tight end 1 as a tight end in a sense.
And it's possible we can, we might be able to put together a stack with Kittle. Who knows?
And I forgot that we have the CMC, my friend. So we actually have a beautiful little CMC Kittle stackage.
Right.
Nice. I like that a lot. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. If we smash that, then that's a masterpiece right there. So it's funny how we started with those running backs early, and you could see, like there's a couple on the board. There's still some good ones actually. Now that I scroll down a bit. But I feel like we just went through kind of like what I consider a dead zone this year.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, you scroll down and I don't know, I kind of like the guys down there better than what's up here,
Right. Yep. I think we're sitting really good here. I like the fact that we have potentially a positional advantage over a lot of the other people at tight end. We definitely have top two running backs if they are
potential.
Yeah. I mean, they should if they stay healthy, they'll finish top 6. And Justin Jefferson should easily be a top 3 wide receiver. So so we got some nice advantages going on there. Now it's just a matter of building some stacks. We're going to be behind, no doubt, at wide receiver from here, just because we only have one. But I think we can make that up with volume the rest of the way. That's going to be the hope anyway.
I put a guy in the queue, but I don't know that he makes it back to us. And then there's these 2 that I don't know if you wanted to do that. Can always go there.
Yeah.
And this guy. There. Put 6 guys there, 5 guys.
Okay.
See how many make it back. It's like a fun game, when you're
who's
playing.
Going to make it back?
The live best balls. How many guys in my queue are coming back, or are any going to be left?
Right. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here.
Sorry, guys. I've been ignoring the chat, getting way too into this draft right now. I'm really liking this build, Dan.
Yeah, it's looking good so far.
1912 in the house. Shout out to him. Shout out Sean, Christopher, Jose, and Jack. Appreciate you guys hanging with us on this fine Saturday afternoon. We'll drop this in a pod as well. It's probably not as entertaining if you're not watching, but the beautiful thing is if you're on Spotify, you can also watch the stream on there as well when it's uploaded as a podcast. Appreciate it, 1912. So we're in the 7th round right now. We've got our 2 quarterbacks, Geno Smith, Jordan Love. We got CMC and Derrick Henry, Justin Jefferson, and George Kittle. And we are on the clock.
Yep. So Brock Purdy disappeared. So now it becomes a question of, do we believe in Trey Lance enough, or do we just want to go stackless with the quarterback? We could go Ayuk, or we could go Lockett, or we can go Lance here. What do you think?
So if it was me, I would go Lance here.
Okay.
The reason is we've got Geno Smith, Jordan Love, and Trey Lance. Just if two of those guys can smash a week for a good portion of the year with the team that we started, now we don't have to worry about quarterback.
Yeah.
Trey Lance is kind of like a rookie. He's got that similar thing as Jordan Love. We don't really know what we have in the box with him as much as people have written him off already. And
Right.
and we've got CMC and Kittle. So if that trio in San Fran smashes this year, I mean, this team is unstoppable at this point.
Yeah, we've got a nice stack going here. I could make the argument if we add one more to it, that might be one too many. But
Yes.
but not necessarily.
I think if we waited and we didn't take Trey Lance here, we can certainly double tap later on those like Brissett types or those kind of guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like we have enough at quarterback, unless we get later in the later rounds, like we talked about with Sam. Like everyone is
All
so
right,
sure.
we're on the clock.
Oh, all right, shut up. There's one guy left. Do we have to take that guy? No,
Yeah.
Ayuk.
Yep.
Beautiful.
So we're building the San Francisco stack and hoping that Lance is the quarterback. But in these things, you want to draft as if you're right. I mean, you don't want to be making draft choices like, and putting another condom on or anything like that. You want to make sure that, like for us, it was either Purdy or Lance. We weren't going to take them both.
Yeah,
even if both had been available to us.
And Jack is saying like Purdy Kittle has been a stack. He's been doing a lot, and it's flip of a coin right now, with those two guys. So that's kind of why when Purdy was gone, I would have just taken whoever was left. If Lance was gone, I would have taken Purdy there.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we did, because check out the stack, right? Dan, can you scroll a bit? They're 1912 saying they can't really see where the screen is at.
Oh.
Just scroll the draft board there. There we go. All right. So we are in what round is this? 8th round, end of the 8th.
Yep.
We've got Geno, Jordan, Trey, quarterback, CMC, Derrick Henry, Justin Jefferson, Brandon Ayuk, and Kittle. So we've got 4 San Fran right now. I think we've got enough 49ers for this roster.
Right, exactly. And Sean is asking, could you add Darnold at the end? And that's definitely something that if he's still around at the very end of the draft, I would do it. My guess is he's probably going to be gone before the end of the draft. But, if around 1920, something like that, sure.
1912, I totally forgot that Dan was in the white mode last week. Was it last week you had it in white mode?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
Yep. So, yes, we are in night mode now. So I took care of that before we started.
Beauty.
We're drafting drafting as if we are young. It's
as if we were young.
As if we were young.
Well,
JD is going out and getting a skateboard, so we have to be in night mode.
Dan, I'm glad you brought that up. It's actually a surf skate, and I didn't even know these things. Davis Maddock, our buddy, I was in the DMs asking him because he's a skateboarder. He didn't even know about these, and the more I've looked into this, Dan, I'm obsessed. I'm literally deciding between 2, and I'm ordering one. And it's basically like if you want to learn how to surf, or if you surf, it's a great way to practice, on a skateboard, but it's designed for surfing. It's really cool. If you guys are into that kind of stuff, go check it out, man. If you're into skateboarding, if you're into surfing, it's called the Surf Skate. Hard to get though up here in Canada. Jeez, man. I'm either ordering from across the border, or I'm paying some serious shipping. How's Ritter still there? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great price on Ritter for sure.
Yeah, Ritter could be a surprise this year, Dan.
Yeah, I just Theo and I just took him in a startup draft, so we're definitely on board.
Right now with Lamar, he's my QB1 in my triflex, Dan. So he better.
There you go.
All right, so we're middle of the 9th right now. I mean, again, because of the balance in our team, and I feel like we took care of, it's super flex, right? So we took care of quarterback nicely. We've got the 2 early running backs that we wanted. Now it's just like, what's falling? Who do we like? We're not, actually, I'm surprised this guy's still here, unless I'm missing something about the news. This guy's in, actually, I want the second guy. If you're into him.
Let me see. Hold on. My queue hasn't refreshed on me.
I might have to take the other guy. I'm going to take the first guy out there. He's the only guy there right now. Oh, no. I'm thinking he's still in thing. I mean, I don't hate him here, but I was thinking of the stack there. I was totally off.
What about Brandon Cooks?
Yeah, Brandon Cooks. I'm looking at the other Cooks. Yeah, I don't hate that.
Let's do that.
Yeah, go ahead. I've bullied.
I think the guy you're looking at might make it around the corner. If not, there's a couple other possibilities that look pretty nice to me.
Like him, or I know you like this guy, and he is on the cover, so I don't know. There's some guy going to look at our thumbnail right now.
Right. That's going to happen.
Had to use him for this one, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Mac Jones and Ryan Tannehill are still out there.
It shows you, though, the Tannehill's been a serious value, man. Like, if you guys miss in super flex drafts right now in best ball, he is such a nice value right now.
Yeah, I don't understand why nobody's taking him. I mean, he's guaranteed to be starting somewhere.
I think people are just, because there's anytime uncertainty, right? Then, okay, we're on the clock. Our boy came back to us. I mean, I'm good going there.
Which one? The
first one, the first guy. Do we have we don't have a stack with either guy, right? No. Yeah, I'm good with either.
Okay, let's go Penny.
Yeah, that was the first guy we had on there. Anyways, for some reason, I was thinking he was stacking.
I'm disappointed that Connor did not make it back to us.
I know.
But such is life.
But think about that. You're choosing between James Conner and Rashad Penny. I mean, Connor's such a nice value right now.
Yep. All right, let's see. So we have Christopher Davis. Do you think Danny Gray can stand out this year? You all want to see it, believe it? No, I don't think Danny Gray can stand out this year, basically because there's 4 excellent skill players in San Francisco, and I think he's going to really have a tough time breaking into that. Can he have a decent game here or there? Maybe. If he can, but he's first got to beat out Juwan Jennings, and then he can worry about building from there. So I have Gray stashed away on a couple of taxi squads, but he's got a ways to go to really be worth something.
Jack asking about White. I think we took didn't we take White? I feel like I just drafted White in something that we did a stream for. I can't remember if it was I was drafting with you or if it was an
I don't think it was me. I don't know. I mean, we might have got him as one of our running backs in the last Underdog we did, but it's
possible. Yeah, White is definitely a nice value. The problem is with any of these running backs right now, you could say for any of them, right? Like, you don't know what's going to happen. I feel like he's in my opinion, like, I don't think his starting position is in a threat, but they're going to add somebody with Fournette gone. So just depends. And even what's his name, Ronald Jones, Dan, your favorite, is gone. So
yeah,
they got to add someone at the position. I just don't know that it's somebody that's going to come in and take over for White. I think White's got that locked up. It's just what's that offense going to do, and what does that look like with Brady gone? Scroll it up a bit, Dan, for the peeps.
Yes.
So we're in the 11th round now, guys. Scooping back around to us. I know, again, guys, if you're listening, make sure you check it out on YouTube or Spotify. You can follow along with the visuals. We've got the draft board on there. Appreciate all you guys in the chat today. Smash that like button if you're enjoying the show. We try to do these whenever we can. It's either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, where we'll do a Underdog, an FFPC, sometimes a Drafters. if we can't get it. All depends on timing, right? If we need something to start and.
Yep. All right. So I put a few into the queue. If you want to take a look at those.
Refresh. Yeah.
What's your lean there out of those 6?
I kind of like. How many are away? I kind of like the third guy.
Okay.
Just because, or actually, I like the guy. I actually like the guy after him more for our team right now.
All right.
Let's just wait till we're on the clock.
Yep.
There it is. Okay. I prefer well, I don't want to even say the names because it comes back to us pretty quick, but I like either one of those guys. I just think
who do you prefer? Who do you want?
For our build, Elijah Moore. Or Elijah Moore. If you like,
right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I was gonna start talking about the other guys, but let's wait to see what comes around to us. I have a feeling none of them are coming back to us, but one of them just got off the board. So to me, it was between Elijah Moore and Addison. The reason I leaned more because we only have 3 receivers. If we had like 4 or 5 receivers already, and we were looking for depth, I'm more willing to give that spot to a rookie, especially a high, a guy who's going to go as a wide receiver top 3 in the rookie draft. Shout out Famous Jay. But I feel like with JJ, Brandon Ayuk, and Brandon Cooks, Elijah Moore fits in nicely there as a wide receiver 4. Do you agree, Dan? Or
yeah, I think that makes sense. All right, so sorry, I was looking at the queue here.
Yeah, no problem.
So we're I've got 2 guys in the queue. We're 2 away. So as long as both of them don't disappear.
Oh yeah. I definitely like either one of those guys, and I want to ask you about the one guy. Oh, he's gone now. I was going to ask you about Odell, how you felt about it. I know you had him as an option there, and it probably would have been between him and Elijah Moore, really,
right,
for our build. But
right. So I like Osborne here just because we have Justin Jefferson, and the reason why I like. Are you okay with that drop?
Yeah. Keep talking, but I just meant because we're on the clock. That's all.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Okay. So the reason why I like Osborne is we do have Justin Jefferson. So, let's say that Jefferson has a quiet game, in one of the final weeks where it's, basically you're down to a 1-game season. If KJ Osborne has a big game and Justin Jefferson has a quiet game, if we've got them both, then Osborne might be enough to pull us into the next round, and then we got Justin Jefferson, who probably got rubbed out on most of his, most of the teams with Jefferson got rubbed out because he didn't do well. So sometimes having stacks like that, even if you don't have the quarterback, can still help you out.
I was going to say strategically in some of these drafts, especially if it's the first guy you took off the board, to get a stack like that there's a lot of benefits. You explained nicely, especially in those crucial late weekends when that plays, but it can play a lot of ways. And I mean, look, with that offense going into the second season with this regime, with this playbook, you got to think. And we saw Osborne. I mean, he elevated last year. They're not gonna suppress that, right? So even as a standalone, I love it. I love where KJ Osborne's going. I think he's kind of under the radar right now. Maybe people are worried they draft a receiver, which they easily could. But again, when somebody's shown a relationship with the quarterback, a rapport, I think Osborne is a nice piece in the 12th round there, especially with our build.
Yep.
JJ.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
So we had a question since we're a few away. Just is there a team that Zeke could land on that would turn him into value? I feel like anywhere he goes, just try to sell him.
Yeah, I mean, for him to be a value, you want Zeke to land on a high-powered offense, basically, like where he can be the guy who just keeps blasting it into the end zone. That's about your best.
Buffalo, KC, the usual suspects.
Right, Cincinnati. But I haven't taken really any Zeke Elliott in any of these drafts, and it's just not very intriguing to me.
No.
I feel like the upside is very capped, and the downside is, the floor is almost 0.
So we are in the 13th round. So far, the team is Geno Smith, Jordan Love, Trey Lance at quarterback. Running backs are CMC, Derrick Henry, Rashad Penny, Justin Jefferson, Brandon Ayuk, Brandon Cooks, Elijah Moore, and KJ Osborne, and then George Kittle for that sweet, sweet San Fran stack.
Yep, and we're gonna probably end up with Geno and Love pretty uncorrelated to anybody, which is not necessarily the way you want to go about it. I was really hoping that we would get Tyler Lockett where we got Brandon Ayuk, but he disappeared 2 picks before us.
So I threw a guy on there.
Yeah, I think we both threw the same guy on there.
Let me refresh here. The first guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first guy I threw in there. So hopefully we get him. That would be perfect with this build.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there it is. Roshan.
All right, Roshan, let's do it.
So with the solid 2, the possible, I mean, Penny, we saw Penny when he's, healthy and the upside he's got that draft capital. I know he's already on a different team, but went to a positive situation in Philly for sure. And then Rashawn Johnson with that, rookie upside, he keeps being pushed up boards. We know Cody Carpacci, friend of the channel and a player profiler stud, has been on him from day one. But I love getting him as a nice depth piece for my running back builds, even for the kind of more top heavy builds where I'm not going to go as deep at the running back position.
Yep. All right. So I've got 2 guys in the queue. Is there anybody else that you would add?
Yeah.
And we are up.
Yeah. No. You can take. You can take him.
Which one?
Oh, there's 2 guys left in there. Yeah. Honestly, either the same. Either one.
All right.
I'm indifferent. You know what I mean? Like I'd probably mix between the 2.
Right. So I took Lazard there, just again because that's going to be the one guy that Aaron Rodgers is really familiar with in New York. So I feel pretty good about Lazard's going to have a few decent games, which is basically all we're looking for at this point.
I like
this. Tyler Boyd was the other guy we were looking at.
We missed an opportunity.
What's that?
The guy that I just threw up there. I would have liked that better, but it's all good.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
For some reason, I saw it, and then it didn't click. You know what I mean? And then as soon as we made the pick, it clicked.
Yeah, and of course, he disappeared immediately.
Yeah, I was talking about dubs there. We should have went, in my opinion, I feel like we could have went dubs there. Just we've got Jordan Love as our QB2 right now. That would have given us a nice sneaky stack. Dubs. Yep. What did I see? What did I see today where LaFleur was talking about dubs, having some Devontae Adams in them, I mean, let's keep it down a bit there, Monsieur LaFleur, but it's positive, which is good.
It's nice to hear, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's better than not hearing, I guess.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to star some guys. Where we're starting the 15th round right now. These are 20 rounds, Dan?
20 rounds, yeah. And somebody was asking about, Famous Jay was asking, how do you feel about the underdog going from 18 to 20 as far as roster construction? And I don't know. I mean, I kind of wonder if when we get on the other side of the NFL draft, if it'll drop back down to 18. But for now, the extra 2 rounds certainly helps out with the uncertainty. It makes me a lot more likely to add a third tight end for sure. And usually other than that, I'm just adding an extra wide receiver.
Just throwing dudes in there, Dan.
Okay, taking a look at who you got.
This is an interesting area here. I mean, we could go.
I just threw in
Yeah, let me see who you're throwing. I want to ask you questions, but then it's like, yeah.
See, I think he is going to get, as long as he stays healthy, he's going to get a ton of volume.
Okay, let me refresh to make sure we're talking about the same guy. The blue or the yellow, the orange?
The orange.
Yeah, I mean he's got more upside, I think, than anyone else in this range that I'm seeing.
All right, let's do that.
Throw him in there. I like that with our receiving core.
Okay. I just don't mind, we waiting at the other position.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask you. That's kind of where, I mean, these guys are all, I mean, now that we have that guy, I wouldn't mind going this guy. I just threw a guy in there.
All right.
Oh, and he did he go?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Must have. I don't know.
No, because we picked since. What's going on here? Or did you maybe star him when I starred him and then it took him out? Yeah, that's maybe what happened. Oh, he's there now. We'll see if he makes it. Tell me what you think.
Oh, yeah.
Unless there's someone that I mean, there's this guy that is getting a little bit of hype right now that I threw in there. Then there's like the usual suspects in this range at orange.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't mind. I don't mind where you're thinking there.
Okay. Well, we've got 2 and there's 2 picked. Oh no, we're down to 1. So we'll see if they. Yeah. Okay. So you're good with the tight end?
Yeah.
All right. So we just took Rondell Moore, and we definitely like Trey McBride this year coming back for a little mini stack in the back end of the draft. I like these little back end mini stacks because, Arizona, if they end up being a sleeper kind of offense just because of the uncertainty with Kyler and, injuries, where's Hopkins going to be, all that kind of stuff. This could be sneaky, especially if Hopkins is gone and Rondell gets a bigger play. And like you said, he's not injured. Trey McBride showed enough for me. And Ertz,
Right.
I mean, who knows with Ertz. Yeah. So Jack asking about the some receivers there. It's. I mean, I was saying it's so like flat here. It's not like there's a teardrop or anything that you're just kind of looking. And if a guy catches your eye where he stands out a bit, and I agree with Dan there, where Rondell Moore at the time for me was the higher upside. I mean, I don't hate Shark.
Yeah, I just don't love him. To me, he's had a lot of trouble staying healthy and just hasn't been as
Took
good.
a while for him to get signed, right? That's the thing with me is
Mhm.
it's not like they signed. It's not like the team wanted him out right away. It took a while.
Right. So I threw.
Oh, kind of like that.
Yeah, I think we've got.
So I got 2 guys up there. I don't know if you added. For some reason, it's like.
Let me take a look. Yeah, we've got.
Oh, that's another one there. Like for later. I'm just putting guys for later too, just so we don't. So we're ending the 16th now, going to the 17th round. We got 3 picks left. 3 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 7 receivers, and 2 tight ends so far. Dan and I have drafted.
Yeah, and I like the way that we attacked the wide receiver when we went light early. Then we really hit wide receivers from the 8th through 15th round. We hit mostly wide receivers. We only took a couple of running backs in between that whole set of wide receivers.
With JJ as the anchor there, like I feel like we played that perfectly. Like you look at the receivers, you can easily get, JJ with one of these guys every week at least, and then if not more when your flex spot.
Yeah, and I think we do definitely need to start thinking about what else we want to do at running back.
Oh, yes. Very nice. Very nice, Dan. I like that. Somebody was asking about this. this guy earlier. I'll put him there so we can talk about him because I don't really kind of out of the loop with him. Yeah, I mean, this round, these last couple rounds, you're basically looking at stacks. I had this guy in. I added just now. Oh,
Okay.
oh, no, Dan. This guy. This guy. The guy I just put, same position.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, I think that makes.
Yeah, I think that should be our first one.
So do we want to? Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I think that should be our number one choice.
Yeah, and then we can probably get the other ones coming back. Still.
Yeah, because we're gonna. Yeah, I like this.
Okay.
If
Nice.
we can get that, yeah.
Yeah.
Get the double tap at tight end there for
Yes,
sure.
with the Noah Fant. I love Noah Fant as a sneaky tight end this year, and we've got him with Gino. I've been building a few of those stacks, including in Dynasty.
All right, then we got some potential running backs coming back.
Yeah, and I like that. Can even throw like these type of. Did we take? No, we didn't. So we can always throw him in there if we want to go to that position.
Yep, and I think I'm gonna take that other tight end out of the queue because we have 3 tight ends.
Yes. We don't need him anymore actually.
Okay, because I think we're probably looking at taking maybe one or two more running backs here, and then we can kind of. For sure, we're going to need one more running back, and then we can figure out what we want to do with the last two roster spots.
Did you take a running back out that I had there?
I have not taken anybody out.
I just added him again. I don't know if we double tap him. That's why I was asking.
Okay.
I feel like I'll add a guy, and then you click on him right after, and then he's like gone.
If I did, I didn't intend to.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'm going to throw in just a couple of
some flyers.
Interesting thoughts at other positions.
Okay, let me. Oh yeah, yes, damn, yes. I don't know if that makes it back to us. Let's see here. Yeah, let's see. This is one of those where let's see how many from our queue make it back.
Oh, we're up right now.
Oh, we're on the clock?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. Who do you want to take?
I kind of want to go with the last guy.
Sorry, I had to click something.
Oh, that's fine. You know what? We want to talk about this guy anyways. So what are your thoughts with Jerome Ford? Someone was asking, here we go. Christopher Davis was asking, does he immediately take over for Hunt? What do you think? Like, what's going on with Hunt? And is that just up in the air until the draft with Cleveland's backfield after Chubb?
I think it is a little bit up in the air. I don't think Kareem Hunt is coming back. And I think Jerome Ford, unless they spend some coin at running back in the draft, I think it's probably Jerome Ford who's going to be backing them up. So that's why I like that pick right there. And I think we can get the guy who's at the top of our queue right now. I think he might make it back to us.
Yeah, that's I'd like that for sure. I'm just pulling up. Yeah, I was just trying to see what Jerome Ford did. He definitely so 5th rounder, 210, 5'11". Definitely opportunity possible in an offense that should be better. So I don't hate that as our RB5.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. And I'm just throwing.
Let me see where our queue's at. Yeah, so we still have those top 2 guys.
Yeah, I was thinking about.
Oh, you went there, eh? There was someone I saw that I like this guy. I just added him.
Okay. Yep.
I don't know how you feel about him, but I feel like this late, if we can maybe even as our last pick, if we could. So guys, if you're not already on Underdog, sorry, Dan, just want to remind the peeps, you can sign up right now, use the code, I'm going to add a link actually below, or you can use the code GOAT. Do we have the code GOAT, Dan? I'm blanking right now.
Yes. Well, for Underdog?
For Underdog, I don't think we do.
No.
So I will add the link right after this. You guys can go sign up. They'll match up to $100 on your first deposit with that bonus link. If you want to go right away, just go to our previous show in the comments and you'll find the link there under the Underdog. I just haven't had a chance. Dan and I were recording another show right before this. So we are in the second last round, Dan. I'm going to read off what we have so far. Geno Smith, Jordan Love, Trey Lance at quarterback, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Rashad Penny, Roshan Johnson, and Jerome Ford at running back. Justin Jefferson, Brandon Ayuk, Brandon Cooks, Elijah Moore, KJ Osborne, Alan Lazard, Rondell Moore at receiver, and our 3 tight ends are George Kittle, Trey McBride, and Noah Fant. Got a little Western flavor, NFC tight end room there.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
So, do we take out the second guy? Oh no, did we add another one? No, we didn't. We didn't. Never mind. I thought we took the other guy. That was.
Yeah, I think we keep him in here for now, but our last round pick, I think we're going to go to a different position.
Yeah.
So if our target is, if our top target is there, then we take him and we take the number 2 guy in our queue out, and then we try to get one of those last 3 from that other position. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Otherwise, we take number 2 and then smash one of those.
Yes. Yep. And we're just a couple picks away here, so hopefully.
So let us know, guys, if you're drafting these, how many you've done, what kind of builds you're liking.
All right. He's there.
Agree with you, Christopher, with Conklin late, especially in FFPC tight end preems. So we got CEH here. We both that's a beauty pick in the second last round.
The hate has gone way too far on
way
him.
Too far. Yeah, I mean he's still in KC, guys. He still has that draft capital. He still has the opportunity at this point. Dan and I will be dropping the Owner's Lounge. We just actually discussed a trade that we made in our 500 FFPC dyno, which involved Pacheco from Kansas City. So a lot of opportunity in that backfield, and CEH in the 19th round is definitely, in my opinion, opportunity and value.
All right, so let's take a look at we have 3 guys in our queue that we're hoping to get, and we're 3 away. So we're getting one of those 3 guys. Who do you like if we have our choice of all 3?
Mine's the third guy that I added, just because I already have a lot of the first guy.
Okay.
I've been smashing him since early. The second guy, I just prefer the upside of the second guy because I feel like, the third guy, because I feel like the second guy is just kind of getting really cloudy out there at that position in his offense.
A little bit, but he does play on the outside, and most of what they added are slot guys.
If you think he's locked in, then I don't mind taking him here because I don't have a lot of them. But if you think that we have solid enough receivers and we could use like that upside play, I'm looking at more of a roster build. But again, I'm good either way. It's just a preference, I think, at this late, as our last pick.
All right, let's take the rookie. All right, okay. The other guy we're looking at is Darius Slayton of the Giants, and John Mechie for Houston. I like him a lot, but I do have a ton of Mechie everywhere.
So just to finish on the Slayton thing, if we hadn't done so well in like solidifying a position that we smashed in the first round and then like ignored, if we did not, like, we have a really solid receiving core considering, that we waited as long as we did. If we didn't do that and we had a bunch of flyers on there, I would have for sure went Slayton there. I just figure we have guys that'll start weeks for us pretty much down the board.
Yep.
I like having that, that firecracker at the end that can possibly pop in. put you over the edge. But anyways, that's just my reasoning behind it, Dan.
Totally makes sense. Yeah. So the only quarterback we ended up not being able to stack with was Love. And you're right. We missed an opportunity with Dubes. We probably should have grabbed him.
That's my one regret, that I didn't. I saw his name and it just didn't click for some reason that we had Jordan Love. If we had Dubs on this team, Dan, this is one of my favorite builds in any. Like, I've drafted too many to say right now, best ball, whether it's Underdog, FFPC, or Drafters, but this is definitely one of my favorite builds. I think we've put together a really nice roster. I don't know if you want to go through it one more time, and then any comments or anything that you thought of the draft.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, basically, again, we're at the back end of the draft, so we did not want to mess around too much with trying to chase a quarterback. So getting Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey as our first two players really made a lot of sense. And then we kind of grabbed the best quarterback left available in Geno Smith in the third round, just to make sure, we had one guy that we were pretty confident in as a starter. We're still able to get Derrick Henry coming back around in the fourth, which, if I'd have thought we needed to grab Henry in the third, we'd have done that and pushed quarterback to the fourth. But anyway, we were able to do that. Then I thought Jordan Love lasting to our spot in the fifth round was a little bit of a value. So I definitely like that. And
I think he's a value just in general right now, but especially if you do something like we did and kind of not smash the QBs early in the Superflex, he's such a nice QB2 with upside.
Yeah, and I was really hoping Aaron Jones would make it around to stack with him.
Yeah,
he didn't, so we took Kittle instead and started working on a San Francisco stack. Then in round 7, Trey Lance. So we're just going to believe that Trey Lance is going to be the 49ers starting quarterback all year. That's just all there is to it.
Mm-hmm.
So for that reason, we added Brandon Ayuk in the 8th. Then we came back around. One good Brandon deserves another, so we got Brandon Cooks. And then coming back around in the 10th, Rashad Penny as our third running back. So Brandon Ayuk, Brandon Cooks, those were our second and third wide receivers. Rashad Penny, our third running back. And then for the most part, we're smashing wide receiver from there on for a little bit. So we took Elijah Moore and KJ Osborne as our fourth and fifth wide receivers. Roschon Johnson as our fourth running back. Alan Lazard and Rondale Moore as our sixth and seventh wide receivers. Then we came back around to tight end, something we can do because we took an early tight end. Then it makes a lot of sense to push your other tight ends to later. Trey McBride, Noah Fant. McBride stacking up with Rondale Moore and Fant stacking up with Geno Smith.
There. Love that we got Fant there.
Then we came back around and we took Jerome Ford, who probably will be the backup, or stands a good chance to be the backup to Nick Chubb. And then Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's going to have some kind of a role, I'm sure, in Kansas City, and Cedric Tillman to finish it off.
Christopher Davis agrees with my push for Tillman there as the last pick. I mean, he's a little different. He's. I'm trying to think of. It'll come to me. Anyways, I like getting the upside there, like with the rookies, especially in the later round. So to throw a guy like that. He's like 6'3", 213, Dan, as a receiver. Mm-hmm. Who's that receiver that was, he wasn't as tall, but who's that receiver that was in Tennessee a few years ago, and he was a pretty stocky guy. He never necessarily lived up to the hype, but it's going to escape me. Anyways, if you guys in the chat know what I'm talking about, or in you're listening to this after, drop it in the comments.
That was, no.
I know when I'm listening to pods and they're saying something like that and I'm like screaming at them, that's that guy, so go drop it in the comments. Guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this today. These drafts are fun on Underdog. You can kind of jump in and they're filling pretty quickly. So $10 to win $100,000. You can't really go wrong. They're fun. They're quick. That took us in an hour exactly. So we'll do some different drafts throughout the off season on Ballin Live. So stick with us. We're going to do some Underdog, some FFPC for sure. We're going to do a ton of those, and we're going to definitely do some drafters here and there just to give a bit of variety and to help you guys, in whatever formats you're doing. We appreciate all you guys hanging out with us. There's Joe, Carlton, shout out to him, Jack in the chat, Christopher, Famous Jay, all you guys. We appreciate you guys. hanging with us. Dan, this is always fun, man. Stay tuned for or look out for the owners lounge. We're going to drop Dan and I an episode that we just recorded earlier this morning.
Yep.
Dan, anything else, buddy, before we close it out?
No, I think that probably takes care of it.
All right, guys. It's been a blast. We'll check you all later.
Go District. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, ball. And I bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. Cause I bleed. Hey, bleeding, I ball. Defeated the odds. Didn't see him at all. JD in the pies. I needed it all. I bleeded a lie. You bleeded a lie. Not bleeded a lie. And that's what I go do. Facts, let me show you. Happen to know. Dudes drafting, they don't do bad and they don't lose. Make you wanna bleed. It's the GO District boys giving you the business and no gimmicks. The best ball drafts got me feeling like it's Christmas. Then it's Christmas all of a sudden and these riches came from nothing. And I got this all from loving the district. See, I just drafted, forget it. I laugh at the critics, they mad at the digits. I clap back by listening. See, Ballin ain't a problem if you kick it with them off. And I refresh the feed till autumn, then I bleed, go.
Dan, one other player we have on the other big board we did, the non-Superflex, on this roster that we had on the other roster. Who is that player?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Derrick Henry, buddy. Derrick Henry. We need Derrick Henry this season to stay healthy and score a lot of points out there in Tennessee. Fun draft.
Yeah, definitely.